President Biden is back from his NATO summit, and his trip was filled with some bizarre interactions with the press.
How soon after the war would you like to join NATO?
Count 20 minutes.
Here we go. Thank you so much. All right, that's it. Thank you so much, you guys. That's it.
Hearing this answer that no one can guarantee a future, are you worried that the political instability in the U.S. will cause issues in the alliance in the future?
I didn't say we didn't guarantee it. We couldn't guarantee the future. You can't tell me whether you're going to be able to go home tonight. The daughter of Ireland, you can tell that's a Freudian slip. I'm thinking of home. The daughter of Iceland.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, your reaction to these latest quote-unquote displays from the President of the United States?
It appears that we have Grandpa Simpson as our president at this point. And Abe Simpson, as you know, is retired on that particular program. This is the leader of the free world. That was very good. That was very good. Let's quote the president again. He said at one point, and clearly he was off teleprompter, the minishing of miniatures, the mini-series of Cola's Daughter of Ireland. You can tell I'm thinking of home, of the daughter of Iceland. I've read that 18 times. I can't decipher what exactly he was going for there. And if it's a one-off, we all misspeak publicly from time to time. That's fine. This is every time this president's out of teleprompter, and it's indefensible, right? And the leading reason why an overwhelming number of Americans do not want this president to seek a second term, because they clearly see what we all see, which is this can't go on until 2029. If he wins re-election, he'll be in office until 2029. Think about that.
There were also some moments where he had some difficulty hearing reporters. Listen to this.
All
right. Without what? I'm sorry? I didn't hear the last part of your question.
You have repeatedly talked about Finlandization becoming NATOization of Finland. Now, based on your...
What nation? I said it was more likely to get the NATOization of Finland. That's the context in which that was said. And what was the second part of your question?
So the White House spoke to Fox News and blamed the, quote, large, echoey room where the briefing took place. Could be true, could be false. What do you think?
I think there are plenty of rooms at the White House where the president also has trouble understanding questions and hearing questions, and no echo there, right? So I think these people think that we're stupid by saying that was an echoey room, because we all listened to that soundbite. Could you understand that, reporter?
Yes.
I understood her quite clearly, what she was saying. There's a reason why this president hasn't had a solo press conference on American soil in 9 months. Think about that, because his advisors at this point are risk adverse, and they want to make sure that he stays out of situations like this, because, again, age will be a huge factor in this race, as Mika Brzezinski on MSNBC lamented yesterday.
And blamed his staff for all of his gaffes by not handling him more, the most handled president in history.
Yes.
All of this leading to the following. It does appear Democrats are panicking over President Biden's re-election campaign. CNN reporting, quote, the conversations keep happening. Quiet whispers on the sidelines of events, texts, emails, furtive phone calls, as top Democrats and donors reach out to those seen as possible replacement presidential candidates. Get ready, they urge. Despite what he has said, despite the campaign that has been announced, President Joe Biden won't actually be running for re-election. And Joe Concha, the drip continues.
It does, but I'm not sure I'm buying it at this point. We're in July, before a presidential election in what? 16 months. So if somebody's going to jump in, that better happen in a hurry. And who's it going to be? It won't be Kamala Harris, clearly. Gavin Newsom is kind of campaigning unofficially, but Democrats tend to stick together. And look, I think Joe Biden's presidential campaign will look just like the 2020 campaign. 2024 will be no different from 2020. Without the COVID excuse, it will not matter. You're going to see a lot of prepackaged, highly produced videos sent out on social media to make Joe Biden look vibrant and coherent, and maybe the occasional speech in Pennsylvania. But overall, they're banking on the fact that Donald Trump is the nominee, and then we're talking about Donald Trump, and not Donald Trump's policies, by the way, when it comes to economy or trade or border or education or foreign policy or education. They're going to be focusing on the court battles and banking on the fact that people will simply vote against Trump instead of for Joe Biden.
It's interesting that this article is coming out now, because he's gotten hit with several negative articles over the past week. And this one says some frustrated next-generation Democratic operatives compare Biden to a house guest who overstays his welcome. Not something the White House is going to want to wake up to read this morning going into the weekend. Joe, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.